If there's a proper way to do a conclusion to a season 1 when you don't know if you're going to get a season 2, I think The Compulsive Gambler is a perfect example on how to do it properly. Was this the best episode of the series? No, it's actually one of the weakest episodes in these 12 episodes for season 1. However, it is the perfect ending this show could have had, because it leaves room open for more, and it also doesn't just leave you on a go read the manga cliffhanger, because this episode was wrote by the manga author. This is literally wrote by the person who wrote the manga, who made the manga. But this is an anime original episode. But the perfect thing about an episode such as this is we don't know if this series is going to get a season 2, especially when no one can watch it legally over here outside of Japan because of good old Netflix literally holding up the license until next year. So having something like this where it's created so it gives you a bit of comfort, because we probably never will see the actual battle between Yumiko and the Student Council President animated in a season 2 or 3. However, we did get a taste of it. Of course, it ends in a draw, and some people are going to say, oh, I wanted to see Yumiko win or lose. But to have it end in a draw, you still get a taste of what is probably going to come, and if you want to see the full thing, you can go ahead and read the manga. But as someone who is pretty satisfied, I don't feel like I need to go read it anytime soon. I'm happy with what the series brought to me. Was this the most exciting episode in the most exciting game? Hell no. It gives you a good stopping point. It doesn't completely close off the manga. It's not an anime original ending that just says, okay, now the series is done and concluded, everything has been tied up. No. It just gives you a taste, it gives you a good stopping point, you got a pretty good idea of where Yumiko and the Student Council is going to go with it being disbanded, things like that. However, it doesn't completely tie off the series, and you could go read the manga, or you could wait for a season 2 if it does happen. But if you're like me, you can just sit back, move on to the next anime, and look back at the series as being a pretty conclusive anime all said and done. But if they did announce a season 2 down the line, you of course could watch that because there is still room and a lot more left to do. And this is why I like endings such as this one. It's a completely anime original episode, however, and it doesn't have to be wrote by the person who made the manga. Even if this wasn't wrote by the manga author and this was just wrote by the scriptwriter, things like this, is still a great stopping point because it does exactly what it needs to without closing off the series completely. It was a simple game. It was just tarot cards and literally each of them flipped one, and then the male character, I forget his name, we really never focused on him too much, so forgive me for not remembering his name. Essentially, he gets to flip one, and then of course it ends in a draw. Nothing too complex. But I like the match overall because there is nothing you can win. It's just a matter of who gets expelled, and I like it. It's just very simple, but then again, a lot of the matches have been simple, but it fits the tone of the series, and it's nice to see the Student Council President go up against Yumiko, because I didn't think we would see it within this season and we'd never see it animated, so I'm thankful that they wrote this in, so at least I got something here even if it didn't end up in a win or a loss here. This was a fun series overall. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, just Yumiko in the episode exploding, and you know what that exploding was implying there when she was getting all hot and bothered by the male character there. A very sexual series and a very kind of provocative series, but still, it was a fun series nonetheless. It had its insanity, it had its moments, it had its ups and it had its downs, but it's something I'm glad I watched for these 12 weeks, and I really do hope it does get a season 2 in the future. However, I'm not going to be shocked and awed and just disappointed if it never gets one, because this was a great stopping point. I honestly don't have a whole lot to say with this episode, except I'm thankful that this had an episode such as this to end it on. I'm sure people are going to be disappointed because it didn't have a great ending of like Yumiko's now the Student Council President or she lost or something like that. I don't need tragedy. This just felt like it was a neutral ending, and that's what a series such as this needs, especially one with a season 1 which has potential for multiple seasons, but you don't know if it will get one because of sales and just other factors like legal streaming, which currently is unavailable and probably won't get that much traction since Netflix did hold off the license and still is holding off the license until next year. This was a fun series. Not everyone's going to love this ending. Many people might hate this ending, but for me, this is what I wanted. It concluded in a perfect way, and if they make a season 2, I'll be right here watching and probably reviewing. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of the final episode of The Compulsive Gambler? And do you plan on go reading the manga now? Or are you like me, you're just going to sit back, you're happy with what you had? Let me know your thoughts, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support if you're new to the channel. Be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.